If you're running meta ads for lead generation right now, I need you to hear this. Your cost per lead is lying to you. Your form fills are lying to you. Your dashboard is lying to you. And it's not because meta's broken, but it's because the definition of a lead has quietly shifted under every agency owner in this space and almost nobody noticed it. I've been running my own agency for the last 5 years. I've worked with solar, roofing, dentists, GLP-1 clinics, you name it. And the way I run meta ads today is completely different from how I ran meta ads 18 months ago. And it's not because your targeting's changed, it's not because your creatives changed, but it's because who's actually filling out your form has changed. In this video, I'll actually break down what's wrong with meta ads for lead gen, why it's the reason your clients are actually leaving, and the tool I use inside my own agency to fix it. Let's get into it. All right, let's go into what's actually wrong with meta lead gen right now. And for most people, their system for running meta ads has literally not changed since the first day they ran meta ads. They just turn on the campaign, they get form fills, then they send for the client, and that formula is dead because, as you can imagine, people are very frustrated with having dead leads, people that don't answer, and people that are out of their area. And on top of that, people that may have never even signed up for your offer. So that's what we're going to be going into today. What you need to understand is the algorithm fundamentally doesn't care about you. Whatever you're doing for your demographics inside the campaign, Facebook treats that as a suggestion, okay? It's like, okay, cool, they want this. Well, we're going to optimize around what the pixel's actually doing. So that's why we're going to get into this. It doesn't care if the conversion is a real human. It just cares that the pixel itself actually fired, which increasingly means bot networks and low quality traffic sources. And on top of that, competitors as well. Because if someone's smart and they're your competitor, they can flood your pixel with shitty data, and then your data is going to be optimized for whatever they're doing on their Facebook, which isn't your target ICP, as you can imagine. So Meta will happily serve your ads to the audiences that convert the fastest because that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to optimize around the goal of your campaigns. So if your campaign's goal is leads and you're happening to get tons of leads, then it's going to optimize around those leads that are hitting the pixel. And if not all of those leads are actual real people that signed on, which is why I recommend offline conversions for Meta Pixel, so you can actually tell Meta the people that actually signed up versus the people that just signed up for the application. All right. Now, something you need to understand, and a lot of you know this already, but instant forms, excuse my language, they're fucking terrible. If you are using instant forms in 2026, you need to turn off your campaign immediately. It's a horrible way of doing it, and you're just attracting the laziest people on earth. If they can't be fucked to go click on your actual funnel, they're not going to be a good lead. So that's for one. Before we carry on, if you want to use Argus 101 to stop the fraudulent leads from slipping through the cracks, click the link below and you can use Argus 101 for free for 14 days. Now, let's get back into it. What you should do is you should have an actual funnel. So they hit the apply page, they sign up for your offer. If you're lucky and your client's good, they'll make a VSL for you. That helps the conversion rate. Second, they hit a booking page. This booking page gets them to actually book in. Then they hit the thank you page, and the thank you page tells them the next steps. So they actually respond to your SMS and nurture sequences, okay? This is like the fundamental 3-step funnel that most of you guys should already know about, but if you're running instant forms, turn it off now and go ahead and make an actual funnel. So even lead forms with 5 qualifying questions, because I see this all the time. They're like, okay, well, I'm running instant forms, but I made it long and I made it 5 qualifying questions. It's like, okay, you're still attracting just garbage, straight up shit. So that is the problem with instant forms. Now let's get into another problem. Most of you guys are just checking your leads by looking at them. You're like, okay, it's a Yahoo, it's a Gmail, okay, has enough digits to be a real phone number, send it to the client. That is a horrible idea because then you're gonna get the people that are like, who is this? I didn't sign up for this offer. You're gonna get people that fundamentally forgot about your offer probably because people have this attention span of an actual goldfish. And most agencies, again, they'll just straight ship shit to their clients. No pun intended, but yeah, they ship shit. Okay, so now let's get into why this is the real reason clients are leaving. Because as you can imagine, if you were on the receiving end of just getting flooded with leads, you'd be annoyed too. You sign up for an offer from an agency, they tell you, hey, we can get you X amount of leads per month or X amount of bookings per month. If it's bookings, half the damn people don't show up. If it's leads, 2/3 of them don't even answer their phone. So they feel like they're being robbed, and rightfully so, because they signed up for what they thought was 30 people they could actually talk to, not 10 people that pick up the phone and are confused by what's going on. So most agency owners, They think this is a service problem, like the churn part of it is a service problem, and they think it's just more check-ins, more better reporting, nicer emails, and none of that fundamentally fixes the issue. Your client, like honestly, if they didn't have to talk to you, they'd probably be happy. They don't want to talk to the marketing guy once a week about the campaign that is stagnating and they're still dealing with lead quality problems. They don't want to deal with that. The real issue isn't service. It's what's happening on your client's sales reps Tuesday morning. Every disconnected number, every I didn't fill out a form call, every out-of-state area code, that's what they remember. And eventually it just piles up. And they're like, okay, get this marketing guy the fuck out. Like, we're done. We can run this ourselves. Like, and that's how a lot of them feel. They are just so over it by the time they have called like multiple leads, and these leads either don't pick up, they're disconnected numbers, they go straight to a VoIP phone, or it's someone out of state, and they're just like, okay, I thought you had advanced targeting on Facebook. I thought you could actually find our ideal customer. And it just makes you look brutally incompetent when you're sending them out of state leads. So as you can imagine, when it's between the marketing guy and the sales guy, who do you think's actually winning that argument? Do you think the guy that's in the office every day with the owner that sees them and that is actively complaining about the shit leads? Or do you think it's the guy that's telling the owner, hey, just look at the report. Like, we're sending you leads. We're doing as we're told. Like, it's clearly going to be the sales guy. The sales guy is there. The sales guy probably has a longer history with the owner than you do. Actually, certainly has a longer history with the owner than you do. And the sales guy is the guy that actually brings them in money. A lot of people, they view marketing as an expense. I mean, they do see that it can grow their business, but they see the salespeople as the people that are actually converting while the marketing's bringing in the attention. So what you need to do is you need to flip that mindset and actually show them that your leads are real human beings. They're not just like, you're not just filling out the form with garbage to hit your quota. There's a lot of people, they're very skeptical of marketing agencies, and rightfully so. There's like a bunch of 19 and 20-something-year-olds, as you can see, running agencies, and they're like, okay, are you guys just trying to rob me on the contract, or are you actually trying to provide a decent service? So you show them the cost per lead's down, and they're like, awesome, my net profit isn't up. And that's the only thing these people care about. Even if you have a stellar ROAS is honestly, at the end of the day, it's kind of a vanity metric. They just care about net profit. They don't care about the return on ad spend for the leads that don't even answer the damn phone. They care about how much money they're paying you and how much money you're getting them. That's it. So it's not about necessarily winning the argument between the sales guy. It's actually showing your value, showing you're holding up your end of the bargain. And then when you are able to actually show that, then you can have the conversation with the sales team about speed to lead and being like, listen, we're getting you guys really good leads. The problem is you guys are lazy bastards that don't actually pick up the phone and call the leads within the first 5 minutes. So yeah, the worst part is if you can't actually prove the leads are real, you're kind of just going back and forth with them. It's like, oh, well, that one answered. Oh, well, that one responded to a text. You can't actually prove they're real with receipts, showing that the number is legit, showing that the email is legit, showing that it's from a separate device from all the other leads, and it's not a competitor that's just flooding your form with fake leads to make you look like an idiot. And you're saying, trust me, bro, on a list of leads that you fundamentally haven't even verified, and you're just shipping them, I guess, soon as they go through your funnel and not verifying anything. So, of course, they're going to be very skeptical of you and think, okay, is this even what I'm paying for, or is this a straight up just scam? Did I get scammed by some like 20-something-year-old? And the point most of you guys don't even realize is these people, like, when they're getting burned, it's not just like their money getting burned, it's their personal time getting burned, because they could be doing other things other than calling people that don't exist. So the roofer is calling after his crews go home. And this is true. Most of these roofing guys that aren't super big yet, and you're kind of getting them off the ground, they don't have a team of sales rep. The sales rep is them. So when you're sending them BS leads, they fundamentally are starting to resent you over time. And the dentist office manager, so the person that's actually booking in the patients to actually get, whatever procedure they're doing at the dentist, a cavity, whatever, they are shifting between booking people in that are actually interested and your flow of just dog shit leads that they have to painstakingly pick up the phone and be like, okay, hopefully this one's real. Hopefully they actually answer. Hopefully they're actually in the same area. And hopefully they actually know what they signed up for. And the med spa owner, a lot of these med spas, they're pretty short on staff because they kind of got into when GLP-1 was picking up and it's hot and they want to make some money on it. So they don't have the facilities to really hire tons of people. They usually just have like a front desk lady and then them that's actually doing the procedures. So they're calling on the lunch break, calling these leads, trying to get to them as quick as possible. And every time one of these numbers doesn't answer, every time one of these emails just goes straight to a bounce, it just frustrates them and they're wondering why they're even paying a marketing guy. So something like this is genuinely something most people just don't think about. They think, okay, well, they're mad about the money. No, they're mad about the fact that they could be doing so many other things with their time other than calling a list of leads that don't answer the phone and that make you look like a jackass. And something you guys need to fundamentally understand is these people, they're not firing you because they hate you or whatever. They just every month that this continues, the trust erodes, and that's why the average sales cycle of a marketing agency with a local service business or a business that relies on leads is 3 months. Because the first month they're listening to you, they're like, okay, I just need to wait another month. Second month, they're like, okay, this is probably not working. And the third month, they're like, okay, I'm done. I'm already getting hit up by 10 other agencies offering me guarantee offers. Why on earth would I stay with this agency? So the trust erodes very quietly, and that's why the average sales cycle is 90 days for these marketing agencies. And again, they don't fire you because of one bad month. They fire you because the trust eroded over the last 60 to 90 days. Every bot lead you ship to their CRM chipped away at that trust. Every fake phone number that got into their CRM, every email that bounced, they're just like, okay, what am I paying for? These people are supposed to be able to nail down my ICP and send me the people that actually want my service. Which brings us to the actual fix. And it's not what most of you agencies are thinking right now, okay? Okay, now let's get into the actual fix. How Argus 101 actually works. And most agencies try to fix this by adding friction, which means just longer forms, huge multi-step forms that have tons of qualifying questions that take someone 5 minutes to get through. And then lastly, CAPTCHAs, which CAPTCHAs suck. I'm going to be so honest. If you just go to let's just do it right now. This can solve a CAPTCHA for $1 to $2.99, and they can do, I think, 1,000 CAPTCHAs for $1 or something like that. It is stupidly easy to beat a CAPTCHA if someone really wants to. So CAPTCHAs, they don't fix your problem at all. So as you can see, there's an entire industry around beating CAPTCHAs. And all CAPTCHAs do, again, is they add friction. And it just punishes the real leads and pisses your actual customers off. And bots, they don't care about extra fields. If they're programmed to beat a form, they're going to beat your form whether you like it or not. So real people bounce. The actual fix isn't with CAPTCHA and clicking a bunch of puzzles and trying to figure out where the elephant is on the screen. It's the invisible verification running in the background, so the bot isn't even aware that they're actually being monitored. So the nice thing about Argus is it actually lives on your landing page. It's just one script tag, 101 verification data points that it pulls, and it's able to collect over 500 signals from just one session of someone sitting on a form, which is ridiculous. And then you get the instant results. It's under 150 milliseconds, and it instantly sends it to your CRM, so you don't have to worry about the lag between Zapier and all these other places where people are trying to stitch together a bunch of tools. This actually delivers it to your CRM very quickly, has tons of data points to actually build up a compound fraud signal against a bot or a competitor, or if it's a real person that's actually interested in your service. And again, it just takes 30 seconds to actually install this onto your funnel. It's the same thing as installing a pixel tag. So obviously we can't get into all 101 data points because A, it's proprietary, and B, that would take forever. But what we can do is I can show you the layers that it actually acts on to catch this shit and catch the bots and catch the competitors and filter it out from real people that are actually interested in your service. So it has email deliverability, phone line type and validity, geographic cross-referencing between IP, zip, area code, and time zone. And the nice thing is when you set up a webhook on Argus, you can actually set up campaign areas for the certain webhook. So say you have a campaign in Florida, you can set up the webhook to look for only Florida-based leads to send to the CRM. So if they're outside the state of Florida, it never touches the CRM. Your client never sees the terrible lead. And if you want to, you can follow up on your own discretion, but there's not really much a point if you're doing local services. It also has device fingerprinting, and device fingerprinting is key when it comes to bot networks, because if they're running a bunch of bots off the same device, you can see that a bunch of these leads are coming from the same device, and same goes for competitors. If you can see that a particular competitor is taking time because he's a fucking loser and filling out your form, then you can see it's coming from the same device over and over and over again. And then you have the VPN and proxy detection, and this helps with the geographic cross-referencing, because obviously if you have your campaign set to, again, Florida, and you want only Florida leads, well, you're going to want to be able to see if people are using a VPN or a proxy to put their location in Florida, and you can have settings on making it strict so it only accepts leads without VPNs that are actually in the state of Florida. And the behavioral piece is actually the coolest part of the entire platform. And what it does is it actually monitors not only how you fill out the form, but the exact way you fill out the form. Because everyone, we have our own unique way of typing, believe it or not. And it's called behavioral biometrics. So the way you interact with the form, the way your mouse moves around on the page, the way you scroll, the keystrokes. So like, so if you push J, how fast your finger leaves the actual key J compared to other people, because everyone has their own unique way of typing. So you have the typing rhythm, typed or pasted. So if someone's actually just going through your form and pasting fields, it's a pretty good bot indicator. They're like using an Excel sheet that has a bunch of stolen info and just pasting it onto your form. So you call it, get the TCPA violation, or just look like a straight up idiot. Either or, not good. It tracks the mouse movement and how long you're actually on each field itself. If you actually go back to particular fields, because obviously if you're a bot, you're probably not going to be going back to fields over and over again and making sure you didn't type anything wrong. You would kind of just like breeze the form. And again, all bots are different, but it's one of the tell signs out of the multitude of signs that we use. Because a bot, it can have a real email and a real phone number, but a bot can't fake being a human at the keyboard. And they can try to steal human-like data to look like a human at the keyboard, but at the end of the day, you can tell. And that's the layer that catches the leads. Other tools just ship straight through. And that's why I don't recommend just using like a phone and email validator, because that does validate the leads for the most part and lets you know if it's a real like phone number or email. But what it doesn't do is tell you if it's an actual person that's interested in your service versus if it's a bot or a competitor that's just spamming your form. So this is the coolest part about the whole Argus thing, is the fact it actually watches how these people are interacting with your form, interacting with your funnel itself, and seeing how long it actually takes them to fill out the form, their keystrokes, their mouse movement, all of it. It tracks all of it and puts it into the compound fraud signals and gives you a real score. And that leads me to my next point. Every single lead gets a score. So it's super easy to be able to decipher through it. Because it'd be one thing if we were just like using 101 signals and just like, here, look, here's the 101 signals, have fun. But what we do is we actually have a scoring engine that scores every single lead depending on like all 100 signals. Because it's one thing to be able to beat a phone or an email. It's another thing to be able to beat all other 99 signals. So premium flows straight to your client CRM. Standard flows straight to your client CRM, because the thing about premium is like there's nothing wrong with them. Standard, it's like maybe there's one thing wrong with them, but it's still worth trying to actually follow up with them. Review, it holds borderline leads so nothing gets killed silently, and reject never touches your client. And with Argus, you can actually select the score that you want to send to your CRM. So it's called score filtering. So say you only want to score or only want to send like leads that are scored 70 and above, you could do that. And you can make the webhook very decisive. You can be like, I only want leads in the state of Florida that are over the score of 70 that are from this particular funnel. And with all that information, then you can actually be confident when you're sending these leads to your CRM that have actually been scored and graded. So every lead, again, it comes back with a 0 to 100 score, plus a full reason breakdown so you can see exactly why it scored a particular way it did, and you can actually stand on something when your client's asking you why you're so confident in the leads you're sending to them. And so the name of the game is just filter, prove, and win. You can filter by score, so only leads scoring 70 or higher hit the CRM, and every lead gets a report you can move forward to your client whenever they question quality. You go from arguing about lead quality to proving lead quality, which is a completely conversation with your client. And again, it flips the dynamic from it's the marketing guy that's messing this all up to, okay, the sales guys, they need to get on top of the game. Maybe they need to change the script. Maybe they need to actually follow up with these damn leads faster. And that we should listen to what the marketing guy is actually saying. Meta ads still works. Lead generation still works. The verification layers are what has changed. And the agencies that catch on first are going to be ones that charge more per lead and keep clients longer and actually stop defending themselves at the end of every single month. The ones that don't are going to keep wondering why the retention keeps dropping even though their cost per lead is looking great. So if you want to use Argus 101 to stop the fraudulent leads from slipping through the cracks, click the link below and you can use it for free for 14 days. All right, peace.